Are you thinking about selling your house and don't know where to start? Here's 6 things I recommend you do to get your house ready to sell. Number 1, declutter and depersonalize your home. You want your home to appeal to a wide audience of people. So you want to declutter it, making it less distracting and feel larger. We suggest depersonalizing it so that when people come in, they don't feel that they're in somebody else's house. We want to give people the warm fuzzies that they're in their potential home. Part of decluttering is going to be not only taking away things like children's toys and things of that nature that can look messy, but also rearranging furniture, getting rid of some furniture, and making all the rooms feel or seem larger. Number 2, do improvements that maximize your return on your investment. This is for both inside and outside of the home. Oftentimes when we're called, people have started to do improvements. So I do highly suggest that if you're going to have a realtor sell your home, you bring in a realtor early on in the process to help walk you through what improvements to make that will give you the biggest return on your investment. Some of the most common ones to focus on are going to naturally be your kitchens, bathrooms, but it's not a one-size-fits-all where you're going to always have to do a complete gut job to your kitchen or a complete gut job to your bathrooms. Talking to an experienced realtor really will help you with this. Let me give you an example. Sometimes you'll walk into a bathroom and it has pink tile and a blue bathtub. Most people would oftentimes think that you would have to gut this bathroom to make it look more modern and newer. There are much less expensive ways to make a bathroom like that look completely new. For example, you can paint pink tile to white subway tile, which is completely in and on trend. You can also custom fit a bathtub, so you still have the base there, but it's no longer blue. You can paint the same bathtub. There's many fixes that you can do to bathrooms, kitchens, and things of that nature without completely redoing them. Kitchens, for example, the tone is typically set by the appliances. If you have black appliances or white appliances in your price range and your market call for stainless steel, that's usually typically a pretty standard fix that you'll want to put into your kitchen. Same thing with countertops. When it comes to your cabinets, which is probably your biggest expense, you oftentimes can just paint those and change the hardware and make those appear newer just by painting them white or gray or our color that is on trend right now. There are some improvements that we recommend staying away from in the sense that you really won't get your return on investment. Some of those would be replacing your windows. Now, if you have a broken window, that's different, but just replacing all the windows, that's something you're typically not going to see a return on investment from. Same thing with fixing an air conditioning unit. Let's say your air conditioning unit is 6 years old but completely functional. We would tell people not to replace that with a newer air conditioning unit because the buyer is typically not going to buy based on what makes sense. They usually buy based on what they can touch, feel, and see. And that's why we want to do the things that give people the warm fuzzies, as I like to say, as they're walking through your home. And that's typically going to be your kitchens, bathrooms, floorings, paint, things of that nature. Number 3, when possible, make plans to move out. Selling a home while you live in it is 1, very stressful for you, and 2, is typically going to make someone feel as they're walking through that house that they're in someone else's house. We want to neutralize homes as much as possible, so when people come through that house, they can see themselves living there. They can see it as their house while they're there. We want to give them that feeling that it is theirs or could be theirs. When they see your stuff, when they see your things, sometimes it's hard for people to get that feeling and overcome that. We know that's not always possible, and we sell lots of houses while people still live there. However, if that is something that you're able to do, we do suggest making plans for that. Number 4, stage the house. Sometimes people feel like this is a waste of money. Well, why would I put furniture in there that doesn't come with the house? Let me tell you, this is probably the best return on investment you can do besides doing your kitchens and bathrooms, because it really just brings that house to life. We bring in a professional stager that is kind of like an artist that will make that home pop. It'll make the improvements pop. It'll potentially hide things that could distract the buyers, and it'll bring to light the things that we want the buyers to see. It'll show the functionality of different rooms. For example, you may have that one room that's a little bit hard to understand without furniture in it. Is this a bedroom? Is this an office? Well, once you put furniture in there, it's very easy to understand what the purpose of that room is and what the functionality of that room is. Commercial timeout. Are you considering selling your house in the DC, Maryland, and Northern Virginia areas? Well, I'd love to be a resource for you. Should you have any questions about what you should improve, what not to improve, things to do to get your house ready to sell, if those are questions that you have and things you're considering, please reach out. My phone number is 301-452-3245, and the rest of my information is below. Now back to the video. Number 5, I always suggest checking out your competition. Naturally, when you bring a realtor over, they'll have checked out your competition. They'll be able to walk you through comps. But what I always like to do when I'm selling somebody's house is bring the sellers to the other homes that are on the market in their area so they can really walk through it and see it and get a better understanding of what the other homes are selling for, what they're asking for, what they did right, what they did wrong, and really make a group decision together saying, hey, they did this, we should do that. Hey, they did that, we should probably stay away from that. And once that house goes under contract or sells, will have a really good gauge of where to price your home and where to market your property. And number 6, this probably seems relatively straightforward and self-explanatory, but keep your house smelling good and keep it clean. Keeping it clean, most people will do, but keeping it smelling good is probably just as important, if not more important. When people are walking through a home that's clean and smells good, it triggers the endorphins. And those endorphins are giving you that happy feeling, and that happy feeling is something that you want people to have when they're inside of your house considering buying it. If your house is clean, for example, but it smells like cat pee, people probably are not gonna wanna buy it. I'd love to hear what you think. Have you sold a house before and made some mistakes, or sold a house before and everything went great? Love to hear your thoughts about the process in the comment section below. Thanks for watching my video. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.